Welcome back to another episode of Out of the Blank Podcast. Mike, voice actor extraordinaire, truck driver, busy man.
Man, you ain't never lied, bro. You ain't never lied.
They tell you life slows down when you get older, but it doesn't. It just seems like it speeds up.
It feels like not only does it speed up, but it gets more, I guess, condensed because it's like you realize you really don't have enough time in the day for anything. You go to work, you work to make somebody else money, and then the money that you get from work, you gotta give that to somebody else because you gotta pay bills, and then you gotta take care of a household, take care of children, and then you're supposed to have some time for yourself, which that time for yourself is usually taking a shit, taking a shower, and going to bed.
And shaving if you get the chance.
Yeah, see now, look, all I got is just the facial hair. My head, I'm balding. I've been bald.
Wait, does it not just grow up there or you shave it like that?
Oh no, 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 no. This right here, this is the Carl Winslow. This is the Everglades. So it does not grow no
You
more
said
right here.
Carl Winslow. How dare you?
You know the Carl Winslow, man. He got this on here. This is all clean right there.
Why do they leave it is what I don't understand. Just commit with it.
I don't know. Some people just can't let it go. Like Lester Holt. Lester Holt has his hairline like in the middle of his head and the back hair. I don't know if it's like I don't even know what you would call that. That's almost like a mullet without the business. Like the business been closed and all this right here is just left partying.
It's not, I mean, you have to think, like my grandpa, he puts like crazy glue in his hair to keep the strands in there.
No, come
I'm
on,
like,
yo.
I'm like, just give up, dude. And he was like, no,
Nah, nah, he can't.
he goes, gale force wind can come by, won't take it away. I was like,
He's not doing gorilla glue, girl. Remember the girl that gorilla glued her head? He ain't doing that.
no, he's just doing crazy glue. But it's like cement. Your fingers will be stuck together for a couple of days.
Oh man, he's gotta let that go. You gotta talk him into that one.
I mean, he sounded like he perfected a method with it, so I'm not going to mess with it.
You know what? Old folks do have a lot of wisdom that we don't. So they done tried some shit and they're like, you know what? I can make this happen. So hey, if it works for him, you know how they say, if you like it, I love it.
Now, you said that like you don't have a lot of room in the day to do things, but I have to ask, are you taking naps?
On the weekends. On the weekends, I gotta take a nap.
They are refreshing. I never thought I'd be the one to take a nap, but I'm going to be taking one after this. I can tell you that.
Bruh, naps are essential in my life, man, especially on the weekends. Because even on the weekends, I get up so early because my body's so used to it after all these years of getting up early that it's automatic. Like for me to sleep in is 7 o'clock, and even then I get up and I start doing things and trying to get errands run. So by about 11:30, I'm taking my nap. I'm laying it down, getting up, feeling good. Like if I get up and I'm in a bad mood, I know I have to go to sleep because I gotta restart. I gotta reset myself. Because if I don't, I'm gonna be an asshole to everybody, man. And it's not a good look at all.
Should we all just bring back mandatory nap time? There's a lot of people out there. You look at them, they freak out, and you just go, hey, you'd probably be a lot cooler if you took a nap or something.
When I was a kid, my grandmother would watch us, and that was one thing that we had to do. It was around time the soaps came on. So when her stories came on, we had to take a nap. If you didn't take a nap, you had to shut up. You could be in the house, but you couldn't talk because her soaps were on. Now, if you couldn't be quiet, you went back outside, which is all good. But if it was on hot days, back in the day, they didn't have they had just started the what is it, the color warning, like code orange, code red days. That started around when I was maybe 11 years old, something like that. So when it came out, I'll be like, Grandma, it's a code red day. I don't care what kind of red day it is, red, blue, green, you're going outside. We had to be outside until it was nap time. So even if even if I couldn't take a nap, I just lay there like, I'm not gonna be I'm gonna be quiet. It's too hot outside. I'll wait till everybody wakes up and I'll go back outside. But the importance of that nap as a kid, you look at it as like, man, you want to keep doing things. But as an adult, I need it. Like, in order for me to go out on the weekend, if there's a plan to get together with friends or do anything, you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right in the weekend. I can only do one of those nights. I can't do a Friday night and a Saturday night because come Monday, I'm hurting because I don't have enough rest. You see what I'm saying? So the nap is an important thing I gotta have.
I'm curious. You said that I was gonna ask because you were like your grandma made you take a nap, and I was like when her soaps came on, that kind of cleared up the question for me. I was like, wait, did she? You said she watched you all the time. I was like, does she watch you while you take a nap to make sure you're actually doing it right? Because some parents do that.
Oh hell no, 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 no. Where we were at, she was on the couch and we were in the living room. Like so, she had a blanket laid on the floor for all of us. You know what I mean? And we just all laid in the floor. Yeah.
Hardwood, or are we talking about carpet?
Uh I- it was a carpet laid on top of hardwood. So,
Oh shit,
really,
yeah.
yeah, the house is old. Like the house now, it's still standing. It's got to be. See, the house I'm in right now is like 105 years old. So my grandma's house is about 95 years old. Original hardwood floors in it and everything. But the way she would have it set up was the couch was in front of the TV, and you had the little space between the couch and the TV, and that's where we laid at in the floor. So she was kind of watching us, but not at the same time because we knew if we were getting loud during her soap operas, man, we getting our ass tore up and then sent outside with a hurt ass.
I bet you found out pretty quick if you snore. She'd probably wake you up real quick.
That's the crazy part. I don't remember any of us ever snoring. Like even as adults, I snore now, but when I was a kid, during the grandma era, nah. I think it was what's it called? Subliminally, our body was like, hey, you better not make no damn sound at all. You know what I mean? But I look at things as when I was young because I was telling my future wife about this. She was telling me about how her grandma was and how her friend's grandma was, and I was telling her how we were brought up, and she was like, "Baby, you weren't brought up uh, the way most people were." And I said, "I understand that. Like my grandma used to catch mice by her hand and would throw them into the wood stove, like
Damn.
alive."
Oh my God. You should have just stopped at Woods. I thought you were gonna say Woods. Like, oh, she took it outside, like wood stove. I was like, damn, she just fried them.
Yeah, you would hear them squeal and then a pop. You know what I mean? This is what
Oh
you
my
heard.
God.
So see that reaction you have right there? That's the reaction from most people. But with me and my cousins, that was normal to us. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's like, well, how did she catch the mice? That I have no idea. I would know that she would come in the living room, she'd have a mouse by the tail, and she'd throw it in the wood stove. Like when my uncle found out about it, he said, Mama did that to y'all. I was like, it wasn't to us. It was just we was there when she did it. Like my grandma was one of the most gangster people I had ever met in my life. Everybody's afraid of this person, this person. My grandma was who we were afraid of, but at the same time was the most respected person in the family. Like people knew her at church because that's where she was at all the time. She was a lady that the Holy Ghost would hit and she'd pass out. They're like, oh, your grandma's the one that passes out in church. I'm like, yeah, but you could not say a bad word about us or say to her that your grandbaby is this or that because she defends you to the hilt. Like you wasn't telling my grandma that her grandbaby doing something wrong because not. And then if he was doing something wrong, she gonna correct it. You know what I mean? She was a little big mama because she was a tiny woman. She wasn't a big woman at all, but boy, I tell you what, when she said this is what you're gonna do, that's what you end up doing. Like when we moved out here as when I was younger, I was 10, I think, when we moved out here. And I had a real bad attitude problem. Anybody could say anything to me and I just go off. I end up and I learned from my uncles that I was stronger than most kids my age. So if somebody says something, it's a simple hurt them. All right. They said something to hurt you, you physically hurt them back. And my grandma, uh, got mad at me one day, tore my ass up because I almost killed my cousin. He was doing this number, he was poking me. And that's a pet peeve of mine. I don't like being poked. And he wouldn't listen. So we're getting ready for school. He's doing it and he kept on doing it. I'm trying to warn him, like, yo, you gotta stop, cuz like I need you to stop. And I turned around and I just punched him and he went flying. And then he stopped breathing. My
Holy
grandma's
shit.
screaming.
You got
Yeah,
you got the death punch. You learned that from Bruce Lee. Did you watch a lot of Bruce Lee growing up? You know when they used to
hell
sell the
yeah. That
magazines with
Bruce
the
Lee is
iron
my
palm.
dude.
They sell the magazines with the iron palm technique, and you can learn how to like punch somebody and stop their heart.
All that shit, man. Like all that was me growing up, man. Old kung fu flicks. That I love that joint. You know what I mean?
Bro,
And then
you know
boxing.
you remember Kung Fu Hustle?
Yeah, man. With the palm.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know they're making a
Yep.
second one?
Shut up.
No,
You
I'm not
bullshit.
joking. They just announced it. You can see the trailer for it and everything.
I'm making a note of it right now. As
I literally saw it and I posted up something on my story about it. I was like, no one else cares, but I've waited 22 years for this movie to come
Kung
out.
Fu Hustle. Hold on, I'm putting it in right now. Kung Fu Hustle.
I think it came out in 2004, and it's been 20 years now that they're finally making another one. I go, I don't know. It's the same director. It is the same director, but I was like, I don't know how you could do it again. Because there's like actors guilds now where there's like caring about people's safety on set. Because I'm pretty sure in the first one, 130 something people had to break their back or some shit, which is how I want a kung fu movie to be done. You know what I mean?
Nah,
I want people getting hurt to do these stunts. I want to see like, what is
that
it?
real shit.
It's a Chinese flick, so you're like they're not pulling any punches. They're straight up gonna try and murder you basically to get the shot. And I'm like, this is what I liked. And if you watch it, it's not meant to be a serious kung fu flick. It's a funny kung fu movie.
It is. It's it's so idiotic that it's perfect. You know what I mean? Like, I love the dude has the manuals and he's talking about how he's, the kung fu guy or whatever. And he go to this village and the village has these masters that show up that are just like, oh, yo, this is tight. The dude rips the shit off and got the rings on. You know what I mean? The old woman smoking a cigarette that has the screen. Then the frog was it the lady that had the frog jump? Was it her?
No, it's the grandmaster, the old guy, the
That's
bad
the
guy.
old guy. Yeah. Like all of that was just a great movie. You know what I mean? I loved all of that joint. Oh, and that's part of why I'm in the anime now too. I like kung fu animes. Like what's the one I just saw? Uh fuck. Baki is the Baki is this like I don't know this kid that is an embodiment of just perfection. Like his dad is the the perfect specimen, and his son is like just going through fighting all these people to get to his dad's level of monster fighter type shit. But there's so many spinoffs with it. I get into that. Like Afro Samurai, that was one of my favorite animes back in the day. And part of it was because the man liked drinking lemonade. Lemonade is like one of my favorite drinks, and Afro Samurai drank lemonade. That was his drink. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna watch it. And then I got into it. I got sucked into it. It's almost just like the Boondocks. People don't think Boondocks is an anime, but the way it's set up, especially when they get to fighting with people, it is. So yeah, kung fu anime, all that. That's right up my alley.
Would you have admitted that you liked anime 20 years ago compared to how accepted it is now?
Oh hell yeah, yeah. I never. I always been that person that never gave a damn what people thought about me. Like you can think what you want, say what you want. I know that, or I knew early on that you're entitled to your opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. A person's opinion of you isn't for you necessarily. You know what I mean? Like the way a person thinks about you, that really is none of your business when you think about it. You know, like I'll never forget. I'll never forget it because it stuck in my head so much. I was in high school and there was a buddy of mine that I was cool with. He was asking this girl. He was like, "Hey, he just going around the room, just hey, would you ever date this guy?" And she would say, reasons why or why not. Gets to me, he goes, "Hey, would you ever date Big Mike?" Now I hear this. They're in the back corner of the room and I can hear it. And she goes, "No, I wouldn't date him." And he was like, "Well, why not? Everybody always says he's a good guy and this, that, and the other." She's like, "Yeah, he's a good dude." And he was like, "It's because he's a fat dude, isn't it?" And she was like, "Yeah." Again, that wasn't for me to hear, but I heard it anyway. And I looked at it, I was like, "Ah, you know what? That's cool. That's your opinion. You're a person I would have talked to try to date." Fast forward 20 years later, I run into the same person. You know what I mean? Life hit her very, very difficult, very hard, and what she used to be like and used to look like is nowhere near what she looks like or is like now. And I'm like, I remember when you said these things, and now I look at you and you are those things, you know what I mean? Okay, dodge the bullet by hearing her opinion because I would have given her a chance back in the day, even though she wouldn't have given me one. And now it was like I see her again and we were talking. I'm still cool. Like, I don't have no hard feelings towards you. But then she was like, "Oh, we should get together. We should go out. We should do." Sorry, I can't do that. I know what you felt then is not changing now. So nice seeing you. Hope the future's good with you. If I do run to you again, we'll still have a conversation, but I'm not gonna holler at you because I believe that the core of somebody is always still that it's still there. No matter how much you change in your life, who you are in the very beginning of your life is basically who you are as you go forward. It may evolve. Like, I've always been a nonchalant guy. I've always had this not saying lackadaisical kind of thing, but I flow through life as because I enjoy it. Whereas some people like, man, fuck, fuck this shit, fuck life's a bitch and all this other stuff. Yeah, but you get this one time. Enjoy this shit. Like, yeah, you're gonna have troubles. You're gonna have hard times. You're gonna have difficult times, but you're also gonna have great times and good times and times that are confusing and times that are surprising. And you just gotta take that all in because you close your eyes one day, you don't wake up, that's what you have.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, you think you don't harbor hatred or something, but then maybe it's just because I don't want to fucking see anybody. I just really don't. Whenever I bump into someone and I know them, I'm like, Christ, because I know it's going to be like a 30-minute, like, hey, how's it going? Then this, and then as soon as the weather comes up, I'm done. I'm not going to give you any more of my time if you start talking about, man, the weather's just insane. I'm like, we live in Maryland. Like, no shit. Like this whole week has been like 90 something degrees, but it's been rainy the past week. And it's at weird times. So imagine it being super hot and you think the rain's going to cool it down. No, it doesn't. It makes you soaking wet and hot, and it's not fun. And then apparently, I guess I have to clean my sunroof because my car's been like the whole inside of it has been soaked. Like I was getting in, like someone had dumped water in my car. And I was like,
Oh, so your trim is dry rotted?
I don't think it's dry rotted because the everything looks fine on it. I just think the plugs are uh covered up or something. I have to open it up the sunroof and actually check inside of it and try and blow it out with like an air compressor. But that's the thing is like now that you're older, you're like sitting there going, "Oh, I gotta take this to a mechanic. I gotta take this to a mechanic." Dude, I'm so broke. I'm like, I ain't taking shit to a mechanic. We're gonna Google it because we can do that in the age of the internet. But surprisingly, with these devices in our pockets, you know how many more questions have arose than what people would ask 20 years ago. 20 years ago, you wouldn't ask someone for directions. You would be like, hell no, I'm going to figure it out. And then now it's like everyone's like, hey, what is this? What is this? What is this? I'm like, use the magical device in your pocket and Google it. I've watched my mechanic Google something about my car, and I'm like, exactly.
Most of them really have do that. Like, even the people that work on your homes, like, I had matter of fact, my oven went out, both of my ovens went out, and the landlord had a guy come over. Supposed to be the professional, whatever company he was with, they come over. And He's like, well, let me get the model number and all that. And I was like, well, I sent that to him already because I knew that's what you would need. I've been through enough stuff. So he's looking up the model number. He looks up a video on YouTube and was like, okay, let me see if I can troubleshoot what's going on. And I'm like, I, I did that. You know what I mean? I just told you, you're looking at the same video I just looked at before you even showed up.
Are you subscribed? That's what you got to ask.
And I'm tripping because I'm like, wait a minute. So your diagnosis and the way you're doing it is the same way that I diagnosed this and said this probably is this part or this part. It says it's only two things. You turn around to me, tell me the same thing that was in the video that I told you I saw, that you saw. You're repeating back to me. And then you go tell the landlord, hey, this is the problem we got here. This is the part I'm gonna order. This is what the deal is. And I'm like, I told you the same thing the day before you called the professional here. And they get the part and it's no problem. Like that's all I really needed the guy for was to order the part because I couldn't, it was one of those like specialty parts that you have to be in the field of. Like I remember when my air conditioner went out a long time ago, the house I bought, there was a part that I needed, but I couldn't get it because I wasn't a licensed HVAC individual.
I think that's all bullshit. It's like with health inspectors. You ever eat a piece of food and you're like, hold on, it's got to be health inspector certified. And you're like, I'll let you know what the answer is. And then 3 days later, if you don't get sick, it's good. It's good food.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing that gets me. So I have to have a special license to get a part. Bitch, I got money.
That's the answer to everything at this point.
You would think, but the bad part is, bro, we're in a spot to where uh, you don't the money you have doesn't meet the requirements of life that you have to hold up. Like me and my girl, we were talking just the other day. Like we both got a little tiny bump in our pay, and the tiny bump in pay doesn't match the enormous bump in the inflation and
Why,
interest
why are
rates
you
and so
saying
forth.
bump?
Because that's what it is, a little bump in pay.
I keep thinking of cocaine every time you say it. Can you switch it to like just to like a little
Oh, I
raise or
got you. I
something?
got you. A little increase.
I've been watching nothing but 80s flicks for like the past like 6 months now. So all I'm thinking of when someone goes, hey, can I get a bump? I'm like, okay, I'm just hearing cocaine.
Now, let me ask you this: since you said that, because I've been doing the same thing here lately. Like I just finished watching The Lost Boys,
Okay.
uh, not too long ago, and then last week, and I watched Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure.
All right. All right. Rest in peace to the man.
You know. So I want to ask you because you are of cinema mind and in the cinema world. Do you enjoy those movies more so now than the movies of today?
Yes, because I like watching the original RoboCop. And when the guy who plays on that 70s show walks in and he walks into the room, he goes, bitches leave. I can't stop laughing at the number of people that were sitting in the writing room, like, what should we have as a line for this? And then some dude just goes, bitches leave. I love that to death. And we don't see that at all in the modern day stuff. But the modern day stuff's good too. I like every aspect of every generation. I'm actually more fascinated with how it's changed so dramatically. We mentioned earlier about kind of not comics, but kung fu stuff. Like that, a lot of people knew that they were scams. A lot of people didn't care because when you're a kid and you have a couple dollars, that's like everything to you. You don't have any bills, so that's what you can do. It's a very foundational experience. But now we have the internet where it's littered with scams, and people get mad at kids for spending money on Fortnite when that was like their karate magazines back in the day. So the times have changed, but now nobody's really warning you about the essentials of scams. And I think it's because it's so dangerous now because you don't know what is a scam. I had a first robocall hit my phone that left a voicemail. I've never in my entire life had a spam call leave a voicemail where
Like call this number.
yeah, this is a warning about your account on this and this and this and this. And I'm like, but it left a voicemail. Like I usually if they don't pick up, it doesn't the thing doesn't trigger to automatically do it. But even when you look at like because phones do the transcripts now, where they show like the voicemail says before you even play it. I played it. It was just gargling. It was like robotic noises and stuff. And then the transcript said exactly what I just mentioned about you have a this payment on this and this and this. And I'm like, but nobody said anything on the phone. I listened to the whole voicemail. It was just robotic. It sounded like an AOL computer starting up. Where I was
Yeah,
like,
oh, old school.
man, I was like, I get it now, but like my grandparents got fooled pretty bad. Like my great grandfather before he passed away, some guy had called him and scammed him out of like $3,000, um, at pretending to be my dad. And my great grandpa was like 90 something years old. He didn't know. So I'm like,
That's what happened.
we're all
But
like that now because now every post says label with AI. I'm like, I don't even fucking know if this is real anymore. Are you really in Tahiti?
you can't, and it sucks because like a friend of mine, her mom uh was scammed out of a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money. This happened. Oh, I want to say it happened during COVID. Um, that she was trying to she wanted to donate to Trump's campaign or whatever. And I guess
She a Trumper?
yeah, she
Did
is.
that
Yeah.
assassination thing freak her out? I think it freaked everybody out.
I don't know because now she suffers from dementia. Like
Oh shit.
yeah. But that whole thing there, like somebody had called her and said they were with the Trump, some super PAC with Trump, and she donated money. Well, they got her credit card number and just emptied out her shit and capped out her stuff. And like her daughter caught it and they were able to recoup some of the money, but not all of it. So, and then as time went on, we found out that she had dementia and was like, yo, you're going to have to take some responsibilities from her because she is one of them vulnerable people to scams. And that's what scammers look for. They look for that vulnerability. Like, I don't know, have you ever seen this movie called Beekeeper with
Yeah, I was just about to say that woman got scanned on all those charity funds. But hold on, you just gave me a good topic to write down. I got to make sure I try and get a guest on about this. There's got to be something set in place for older people who have large amounts of money in their bank account, where if it's over a certain amount of money, it has to get. My bank's really good at like, hey,
the fraud detective.
there's a purchase on here that we know is not you. And I'm like, why? Like it's over $5. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty like dollar store based. Like, what do I live off of? Like Jello and freaking energy drinks. And like maybe the occasional liquor store hit will be like $20 or something.
Yeah.
But they're like, yeah, it's not you. I don't think you're spending like $800 on something like this. So I was like, yeah, that's not me. Can I just ask what it is? So I finally got out of the 10 years I've had this, maybe longer, since I was like 14. I finally got online banking.
Okay.
Bro, thank God I don't have to go to an ATM at 3 o'clock in the morning, which is the only time I ever get near an ATM and try and work around that because there's too many sketchy people, dude. I've run into too many crackheads where I'm like, look, man, I can't right now. They're like, can't you just borrow a couple bucks, man? I'm like, dude, everybody carries cash now. I mean, everybody carries card now. There's no cash. He's like, let me get your debit card. I'm like, let you get my debit card. Yeah.
Yo, it's crazy how that not only do we have to evolve, but the panhandlers and the crackheads have to evolve too. You know what I mean? Like I was watching one dude. Now in my travels out here, I see the same panhandlers pretty much in every area. I kind of have like nicknames for all of them because they're the same people. And there's this one who's been out here for years, man. Since I've been driving this tanker, I've seen him up and down Richmond Highway. And this dude, I call him Mr. Don't Give a Fuck because he don't care. He walks out into traffic. Lights green. He's just scooting along, just knocking on people's windows. Not even waving. He just goes up, taps on the window. Hey, nah. If you don't look at him, he keeps tapping and tapping and tapping until you look at him. You know what I mean?
Jesus.
I'm like,
The anxiety in today's generation trying to deal with that. That's what we should be training kids. You should drop them in the middle of like one of those streets. Where there's a bunch of them, and just oh no 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 when they get a permit, just let them drive right through and just have them deal with the anxiety of that situation. Especially when they grab the car wash thing and they start spraying your car, and you're like, stop stop stop! You're
they
smudging
don't
it.
do
You're
that no
smearing
more.
it.
They don't do that no more. They literally get mad at you if you don't look. Like I had a guy, he was in He was in a wheelchair. I remember this because I was in DC. He was in a wheelchair. He's in the turn lane that I have to be in. So I'm kind of offset of him. You know, he's in the turn lane, he's in a wheelchair, and I'm right next to him. He's in the wheelchair. I'm at the light. He taps on my truck, tap, tap, tap. And I look down, I'm like, what? He goes, got anything to help me out? I said, nah, man, I can't help you. He goes, well, how about help me out? Because I got a dog over there. Like he has this dog wrapped up in a Redskins blanket and have you. This is the funny part. So the dog, it was a, I don't know, it could have been a pit. It might have been mixed with something, but it was white dog with like a black patch on the side, you know, with a Redskin blanket on it. Nah, man, I can't help you. You should be out of the turn lane because people gotta, go here. He's like, I don't care. I know you don't, but I'm just saying you liable to get hit, but whatever. I can't help you. I shit you not. 3 weeks later, I come back. Same fucking dude in the damn turn lane. Does the exact same shit. But this time when he says, hey, I need to take care of my dog, it's a completely different fucking dog, bro. It's like some little scraggly, gray, mangy looking fucking dog. I'm like, bruh, I was here 3 weeks ago. That's not even the same dog. He said, yeah, but you trying to help me and help it? Nah, man.
Is he just
Same
borrowing
thing I
people's
told you
dogs?
last time. Huh?
Is he just borrowing people's dogs?
I don't even know where he got the dog from, to be honest with you. He could have stole it from somewhere or just a stray that was happened to be out there.
For like the
But he had
SPCA
a
or something?
different fucking dog, yo. I said, there's no
Dude,
way.
we just created a perfect organization. You know how the SPCA puts down certain dogs after they've been there for a really long time? Yeah, give them to the homeless. Work out an exchange program where the homeless people can use them as scams, and then they return the dog after a certain amount of time. So that keeps
Just
refreshing the
rent them out.
days. Yeah, rent them
Just rent them
out.
out.
Oh my God, you know there's a scam like that going on somewhere in the
It's
world.
gotta be. It's gotta be because now, from what I heard, Prince William, they want to start a program where to help the panhandlers get money. They want to hire the panhandlers to clean up, pick up litter. $13 an hour to pick up litter. I'm like, you know what? That's not bad. If you could get the panhandlers, be like, look, instead of being on the corner doing this, you see all the trash here. If you pick up the trash, we pay you $13 an hour. That can help get you out of the situation. But I think a lot of them are so comfortable doing the panhandling part. Like there was this woman that's in one of my stops in Fredericksburg. I see her all the time every week. And the past couple of months I hadn't seen her, and then she pops back up on the scene again, and she's pregnant. I'm like, you got the nerve to get pregnant and you panhandling? Oh no, I can't.
Wait,
Nah,
is she homeless too?
that's what the sign says. I don't
Fuck.
know, like you, because again, I've seen this. There's a couple. I shit you not, bro. There's a couple in Manassas. I know the roads they work. I've seen them do this for years now. They actually have a car. The couple parks. One gets out on one street. The other one takes the car and goes to the other side of either Manassas or Gainesville and post up in the road. They park at a gas station. They panhandle part of the day, and then they get back in the car. And I don't know where they go, if they go home or go to a hotel, but they got a vehicle and they got phones. And a lot of panhandlers I see, they have phones. Like if you have a phone, you have access to a means other than out here asking people for money that these people out here don't even have. You know, like I tried to be nice to one lady before. I was in Lorton and I seen this woman and it looked like she was struggling and it actually touched me. And I was like, you know what? Let me see if I got any cash. I looked, I was like, I got $5. But I got a bunch of cold waters in the truck, and I got like a pack of cookies. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'll give her the pack of cookies and like 2 bottles of water plus the $5. That should help out. So I got all this together. I'm like, if she's still out here by the time I get done pumping, I'm gonna help this lady out. So I see her, and now have you people are coming up, they're giving her money. She's taking it, no big deal. I go up to her. I'm in my truck. I said, ma'am, here, I have stuff for you. She said, no, I don't want it. I said, but I got money, I have bottles of water, and I have cookies. You can have this because I got plenty of water and I got enough snacks, and you can take the last little bit of money. I'm not worried about this cash that I have here. You can have it." She's like, "No, I can't take it from you." And I'm like, "You're not taking. I'm trying to give it to you." And I sit there and was going back and forth with this woman for a minute, and I'm like, okay, if you don't want it, cool. I tried, and I told God, I said, "God, I tried. You saw me. I tried to give a hand out here." So I called my sister up and I tell her about it. She goes, "You know what? She might have been a scammer, and you're genuine. Like, look, I see you struggling. I really want to help you. With your day here." She could have been like, "You know what? I can't even do it to you. I don't want to do what I've been doing to all these people to you because you're more genuine than anybody else that came up." I said, "Yeah, it could be. But then again, I don't, is it a pride thing too? Like, I have no idea. It just struck me as odd. Like, I watched you take money from everybody else that came up here to give you money. But when it was almost like, is my shit not good enough for you?" Like, I was like,
That's what I thought too. I'm glad we're on the same wavelength. That's the first thing I was like, wait, now you don't want my money?
yeah, I was like, I felt kind of disrespected. Like, you really gonna disrespect? I'm trying to give you food, water. I'm trying to hook you up with at least a little bit of something. It's a little snack. It might get you through a couple hours today. It's hot out here.
And then you get aggressive about it. You're like, I'm going to confront this person. And then you're like, I'm going to beat this person up if they don't take my money.
Like, I was like, yeah, I was getting kind of mad. Like, why aren't you taking my shit? I'm trying to help you. I'm not poisoning you. Look, the bottle's got the crack. Like, I didn't open up. Like, I'm trying to prove that there's nothing wrong with what I'm trying to give. You know what I mean? And I caught myself like, why am I trying to prove myself to somebody who doesn't want my help? Like, there are people that would like that help and will accept that. There's other cats that get mad when you don't have money, but you're like, "Here, I got water or I got a sandwich. I don't want that." What the fuck? Okay, cool. I guess. Like, I don't have money to give. A lot of people don't have that extra change in their pocket anymore. Shit's so jacked up. You scrap like I don't even remember what change sounds like.
The jingle in the pocket?
You know what I mean? Like, it's just it's harder and harder. But I look at it as like, eventually, you know, there's going to be a turnaround at some point. It has to be. I told my fiance, once this wedding's over and we come back from the honeymoon, we really got to tighten up and focus on building. You know what I mean? Because the wedding has taken the planning of the wedding and getting things set up for the wedding has taken a lot of time and a lot of fucking money because shit's more expensive now than it was back then. And when I say back then, it's not like I'm saying 20 years ago. I'm saying pre-COVID, like I think today we're seeing the effects of what COVID did to not only
Say pandemic, please. It would be not over.
pandemic.
Yeah.
Oh, because they probably block you on some shit.
Yeah.
Got you, no problem. So pre-pandemic,
There you go.
but I think we're seeing the effects of it starting to kick in now with the cost of things and how people really feel. Like, you got a lot of people going through depression now, uh, a lot of high anxiety things. Like, you got people that don't want to go out. Like, I honestly enjoy being in the house. I'm a
Most
people
people do.
person.
Why would you? Most people like they're like, oh, like let's say if you're gonna Uber somebody to your house, people go, well, that's lazy. I'm like, well, it's convenience because a lot of times, like you have a couple drinks, you start reaching for your keys. You know what I mean? Like, it's just easier to be home instead of being like, well, it's just right down the street. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I don't. I used to enjoy going out, like, even to friends' houses. Very rarely do I get a chance to go to my friend's house, and when I do go, I'm not there, but for so long. Like, I'm there, I chill, I have a good time, but then everybody knows come a certain time, your Mike's gonna be gone. Like, we did 4th of July, all my friends, we got together, we did a 4th of July thing, and right after the fireworks, I'm gone. Like, my homie came up was like, "Oh shit, you still up?" Nah, bro, I'm finna go to bed right now. I just want to tell everybody good night, and I'm crashing. Like, I'm done. And dude was like, "Oh no, his girl. It was his girlfriend." She was like, "Oh man, that's lame." I'm like, "Bitch, I get up 4 o'clock every fucking morning to go to work out here in the elements, and then I come here to go do the 4th of July shit, and then I'm the only motherfucker out here that has to go to work the next damn
I can't
day.
believe you said elements. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, man, you out here the elements,
I'm
man.
out here in the elements, braving the winters and the harsh rain,
Yep, all of that.
and it's a dry heat too.
You know, man, that sun be beating your ass up, bro.
Yeah, that's funny because there I realize there's a difference between being from Maryland and being from Maryland. The reason why I say that is my 4th of July weekend, me and my buddy had planned to do crabs. Now, I
Nice.
don't look like a big fellow, but I can tear up crabs like it's nobody's business.
Yeah,
And we
you are a Marylander. You should be able to do that.
again
That's
here
just thing.
here's where the difference is. So we got these crabs. We had to wait till noon, so I didn't eat anything for like a good 32 hours to prep for this. And it literally we go and pick them up as soon as he puts the bags in the car. I smelled a strong scent of Old Bay because they dump it on it like it's nobody's business. And then I go bring them back. And he goes, "What are you talking about? We've been excited to get ready and tear up these crabs." I was like, "They do not smell right." He
So
goes,
you knew
"You,"
something was
he goes,
wrong.
"You're crazy." I go, "They don't smell right, man. There's something that I've smelled, and it's not either they cooked in way too much water, or they did something, but is not right. Like we got some bunk crabs in there." And then we open up the bags to look at like the everything looked fine. They looked orange. They looked like perfect. And he's like, "Dude, these are perfect. I think you're just, whatever. I don't know. You just didn't sleep or something." And I was like, "Dude, I'm telling you, man. We first couple crabs really, really good. Start getting to the middle towards the bottom of that bag." He was like, "You're right." I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." I was like, "These probably were made yesterday or the day before." And
Ah, they
they
threw them in there.
they tossed them in there because someone probably didn't pick up an order and they weren't gonna let crabs go to waste. And he was like, "Damn, man, that sucks." She's like, I mean, it's not super bad." I was like, "It's not bad. You can still eat them, but I'm just letting you know, like, you might get sick a little bit later on if you want to keep going." He's like, "You want to push through?" I was like, "Damn right, I'm pushing through. I've been waiting months for this shit." He's like, "I
Yeah,
can't believe you could smell that over the Old Bay." I was like, "Bro, there's just something you
yeah,
get a sense
you
for it."
know it. It's an instinct. It's right there. You know, it's
Plus, he said they threw it a couple extra for free. I was like, nobody fucking does that.
no, hell no, they ain't doing that. They ain't doing that just to fucking do that. They're doing that to get rid of the inventory they got. That's what that was. Oh man, we hooked y'all up, man. We even threw a couple in there for y'all.
You spitting it.
Fuck you, assholes.
Yeah,
You did
yeah, yeah.
something. Yeah.
And crabs aren't cheap either. He got 2.5 bushels. I ate a bushel and a half, and then he had half a bushel, and then there's a little bit left over, and I ended up taking some home and had it for breakfast in the morning.
Nice.
It was rough though, because you're reeking of crabs, dude. That's the only bad part. I like it when haven't had it in a while, but then when it's like the next day and you feel that like your hands just feel dirty, you're like, oh, I've washed it 8 times.
We shoot, we got some crab legs. I don't know, because I called Giant up, see when they have like a sale on them or whatever. And it just so happens that week that we were like, we were sitting here and we were talking, and she was like, "Hey, babe, we haven't had crab legs in a while." I was like, "You know what? We sure the hell haven't. We still got that cocktail sauce up in that joke because I want some shrimp too." She's like, "Yes, bet. Let me call Giant and see what they got." I called Giant and it was like, "Yo, we got them on sale for like 4.99 a pound. Bitch, sign me up. All right, this is
Four
what we're
ninety
doing."
nine a pound.
Yeah, every once in a while you get lucky out here, man. And fucking, so we got a couple pounds of crab legs, and then I think the shrimp was 5.99 a pound, and we got like 2 pounds of that. Tore that shit up, but then the cleanup. You know, I put a trash bag. I cut a trash bag open, and I put it over the table, so
Yeah.
that way I just wrap it all up and then toss it. But I didn't take the trash out that night. So that morning I got up and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. We ate that shit last night. House is gonna be funky. Let me crack a window open and take this trash. Like I had to go to the dump immediately the next morning. Like this ain't gonna work because man, one time before me and my fiance got together, she was living with a roommate of hers and they had a crab feast. And I guess the girl didn't eat all the crabs. So she was like, well, I'll just put it in the garage. And
No.
she put them in the garage and she got drunk and forgot about them.
Oh my God.
So my girl, she was gone for that weekend, and she calls me when she gets back and was like, "You ain't gonna believe what this bitch did. She left the fucking crabs in the garage. I said, wait a minute. She got them on Thursday because you left Thursday night. She's like, yeah, I ate a couple, then I left. I said, so they've been in there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it's been hot all weekend. I was like, oh my God. I can imagine how that shit smelt, man.
You're gonna have the cops coming to your house thinking you either got a dead body in the garage or you're thinking about killing yourself. That's what's going on. 'Cause that's like, what is it, carbon dioxide when you start up the car and you just let the car run
Yeah,
carbon
you just let
dioxide?
the
Yeah.
car run. Yeah.
That's
I
like with
was like,
crabs.
man, that shit was so horrible when I got to the house. I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, y'all gonna take care of that because I'm not I'm not touching nothing. I'm not, and the box was only like, I don't know what, a simple maybe 10 by what, 10 by 4, nothing big. It had maybe 8 crabs in there, but I'm like, the smell from them, I'm like, and we eat this shit. Like it took a while for me to eat crabs after that with that experience there. Just the smell of it fucked me up.
I usually we usually order it twice a summer. We get one at the beginning and then one at the end. We do a crab feast type thing. And I made my buddy's table perfectly. This is how serious I take eating crabs. Okay, it's not a joke with me. I went to his house. I go, "Where's the trash can?" He's like, "I don't have a trash can, but I got this bag." I was like, "So every time we get done with our stuff with the crabs, we have to get up, grab the bag, open up the bag, and then scoop them in there." I go, "You know how much time and how difficult it's going to be when our hands are covered in Old Bay and crab stuff?" And he was like, "Dude, it's not gonna be that bad. Just stop being lazy." I go, "I'm gonna fix this." He has a picnic table on his back porch. I literally stood up on the picnic table, took my foot. It took 2 hits. I stomped a hole in the middle of his picnic table. I put a trash bag through it, and then we were able to push the crabs into the actual thing. And he was like, "I'm not even mad. It came out so well." I was like, "Exactly. I didn't think it was gonna work like that."
But you got to be efficient. When eating crab is an art form, you know, it's a you gotta know what you're doing. Like I got
And call
my
me
daughter.
Picasso, goddammit.
Nah, my daughter. I got the claw cracker for her. I got the picks and shit. Like we go to work when it's. Yeah, I understand what you're talking about because it's a process, but the reward after it is great. Like, so do you eat other seafood besides crab? Do you like
Everything.
fuck with
I
my
haven't found a
man?
piece of seafood I don't like.
See, that's what I'm talking about, my man. Because I fuck up the animals in the ocean. Granted, I don't go in the ocean, but I will eat the shit that's in it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I am a little sketchy on flounder, though. I will eat it, of course. I will not say no to any seafood. I'm dead serious. Anything you can find, even if it's clams in a jar, I'm down with it. But flounder is a bottom feeder, and a lot of people don't realize it's why it's a lot cheaper than other fish. You have a likely more percent chance of getting sick from eating flounder because it is a bottom feeder. So they can't clear out a lot of the bacteria and stuff. They do a really good job. It's FDA certified, obviously, but there is a chance of getting like really like sick from eating flounder, highly more likely.
because like the top tilapia, I
Tilapia.
stopped eating that just because of what it eats. You know what I mean? What it's used for. Um, I really don't fuck with that. But most of everything I mess with. Um, when we go to Barbados for the honeymoon, I'm tempted to go back out in the ocean just for because my girl said she wants to do snorkeling. She's done it before. Again, I don't like being in big water. So I told her I will do the snorkeling thing with you. I will try it out, but I'm not leaving the side of the boat. Like I'm gonna make sure my hand is just touching the boat. She goes, you can't grab onto it. I said, I don't need to grab onto the boat. I just need to make sure that it's there. Like I'll keep my hand here while I'm doing all this and looking in the water, but that's it. I'm not gonna go swim after little fish or swim down here to see the. Now I'm wherever that boat is stationed
I'm
at.
sorry. I'm sorry. I would pay so much money to either watch you snorkel or just you after a couple drinks just in the crowd.
That's it, man. I'm chilling. I'm gonna have my hand right on that catamaran, just
That's
chilling,
my
just
new
floating in the
dance.
water.
Next time I go out, that's the dance I'm doing. Is that I watched a couple people with some exotic dance moves at some clubs. I was like, that's different. That's different.
Now, how are you on the dance floor, man? When you go to these concerts, are you out there grooving?
I've never started dancing until just or this summer, going to some of these concert gigs and stuff
Oh
like
man,
that.
you starting to get to your freedom realm now. There you go, bro.
I
Let
just
that out.
spent like what I just spent. I was working two jobs, like 70 something hours a week, and I was stuck in a survey. I was working in a surveillance room for 8 months. So I was literally like, it was overnight shifts. So I had no social life. And now it's like, everyone needs to understand. It doesn't matter. Like, I basically lost two jobs because of it. I'm like, this is my summer. I'm doing this. There is not a yes and if or but. It is, this is what is going down. And so, yeah, I made that decision. Been going to these. Dude, I'm not gonna lie though. Going to Secrets, I was like, dude, those drinks expensive as shit. Way too
Now,
much.
Secrets is a bar.
Yeah, so it's a Secrets is if you come to Ocean City, Maryland, it's a giant club basically. It's got a radio
Okay.
station. My mom works in the radio station part to it.
Oh
Um,
snap.
but it's a giant like they do free concerts on Wednesdays. This past one you had to pay $60 for, which I was fine. But it's good music, good restaurant stuff. A lot of people come here because like the number one tourist attraction basically. If you're gonna come here, and they have their own distillery. They got a bunch of stuff.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
but yeah, it's like the drinks there. If you're getting like two frozen drinks, it's like $20. And
That
it,
runs about right.
it,
That sounds
some
about right.
places I go, man, it's like $5 for a frozen drink. So it's
Oh
like
shit.
when I go
Okay.
there, I was like, let me try something new because I like to explore, like whatever. I'll try something different. Usually I just get a pina colada. Nobody says shit. Nobody gonna say
Yeah.
shit. You get me four more
Ah.
drinks of those. Oh, come on now, come on now. Um, no, but I got a Jamaican on the run, which was a coffee liquor mixed with like a rum and a bunch of other things, and it came out so watery. And then they're like, they give you the bill and everything. You're like, well, I'm gonna be right back here for another one, probably like in like 20 minutes or 30 minutes or so. So I'm not gonna tip you right now. But then people are like tipping like $15 each time they go up. Luckily, I was hanging with a lot of people that had like old Ocean City money. Or they were like, "What do you want to drink?" I was like, "I'll take a $2 natural." They're like, "You're gonna get this," and it's like $15. I'm like, "God damn!"
Yeah. Look, that was part of the reason why I stopped fucking with bars was because they started to get expensive. Like, I could drink at home and spend less money than what I do here. And I'm only going for the experience of being around, people. But then at the same time, I'm running into the same characteristics of people. Like my homie was asking me, he's like, "Hey, are you doing a bachelor party?" I said, "Nah, not this go round because I'm not leaving. Like this is my second marriage I'm about to be on, and I'm not leaving like a lifestyle. I'm not.
I
You know,
support you 100%, and I'm so happy that you are getting married. But I do not agree with your decision. It's nothing to your wife. I just don't agree with marriage in general. I think it's, oh, I've seen every time it always ends up bad. I do never want to split half my shit. There is no way. I know they're like, so we'll sign a prenup. Good luck. Bring that up to the person that you're supposed to be putting a ring on their finger. Say, hey, do you mind signing a prenup? Watch that ring come off real fucking quick.
Ah, it's not it's to me. I guess the institution of marriage. I look at it as the first time I did it. It was like, all right, this is how you're supposed to do your life, right? That's what I was brought up to think, to believe. Then the divorce and all that shit happened. I seen how it just tanked everything in my life. You know what I mean? So this go around, I'm like, I'm looking at it in a different status versus what I did before. Like, so now it's like, all right, I understand marriage is a merge of businesses in a sense. I'm taking on her shit, she's taking on my shit. And we have been working way like all of this that's going on now is way different than what I had the very first time. And I'm like, I didn't understand things until I went through that mistake. You know what I mean? The great kids came out of that mistake. But now I have somebody that's riding with me through it all. So I'm like, all right, cool. We know where we're going to build on and what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. It's just getting the parts to do it all and put it all in place. But
Wait, do you keep your shit that you had before marriage? You don't have to split that, right?
no. Anything that you had before you got married, that's yours.
Okay, then I'm fine with it. Because I was thinking about it, I was like, I don't want to split my Dragon Ball Z box set, man. Like, there's no way in hell. If I had that before her, that makes no sense. There was only one reason I would ever get married, and it was if it was Mariah Carey, because I know that would be a definitive. I would never be leaving that, no matter what she did.
You say you ain't splitting your box set up, man.
Hell no.
I like that. Yeah, so with marriage, you only split what you have accumulated in the marriage. So if you
Okay,
get married and you win the lotto, you split that. But if you won the lotto and then got married, that lotto money's yours.
that's fine. Okay, I thought it was everything you own, so that means that what everything I was walking into the marriage with. I was like, but I bought this before you.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as it's before, you're good.
All right, I'm,
Yeah, man.
I'm
So
changing.
yeah.
You're changing my mind on it a little bit.
But like, I don't know. I guess as I got older, because I said, going to a strip club now, and at least the ones that are out this way, like if I go to a strip club in West Virginia, the girls are mostly they're younger than you. You know what I mean? And I got nieces that are
God damn, you're making me feel old, dude. I'm not even that old.
no, no, you're all right. You're younger than me, but I just feel like I got nieces, I got nephew, I got a great nephew, and a great niece now. You know what I mean? Like my oldest nephew is 33, and my youngest one on my brother's out of my brother's kid, my youngest one out of that crew is 18. You know, and then I got my homies, his daughter, known this little girl since she was like 13, 12, 13 years old. She just got married.
I've known you since I was like 20
Yeah,
or
so
19.
we're
Yeah.
yeah, so we're going on good years here. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if I go to the strip club now and I walk in there and I see all these young girls doing their thing, I feel like I'm the dirty old man. You know what I mean? That's why I was like, I don't want to do the strip club. Like me and my homies, we can get together and we already get together as it is and have drinks, but I don't want to go to the bar and spend money on a shitty drink when I can make a strong ass drink here with y'all just chilling.
It doesn't work socially though, because people will call you an alcoholic if you drink at home, even though it's like $40 cheaper.
Well, yeah, or a lush, but see, that's the other part. Like when you go out and you got that one person that fucks up the whole mood, like you got that one asshole's like, yeah,
I don't
shot.
even I don't even mind that. I just don't like the person goes out and they're like, "I loved her, man." I was like, "God damn it, don't fucking do this to me."
Oh, so you don't mind the overexcited drunk.
No,
You
like
just don't like the
I went to it. I went to a show last night, and I could tell my buddy had a couple of drinks because he was like, towards eventually, he was like, he kept saying, "I love you, man," and kept saying it and like doing the high. I'm like, dude, I don't like people touching me. Stop fucking touching me. Like, everyone knows it. My brother knew it when he was playing. He was looking over at me. He's like, "Oh, dude, you gotta stop hugging. You gotta stop hugging Robbie. He's gonna lose his shit in a minute." Which I get. I was like, "Dude, it's fine." And then I literally just looked at him and I just go, "You got a ride home?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna Uber. I live right down the street." I was like, "No, I'll just take you home, dude." He's like, "It's fine." He's like, "Are you good?" I was like, "I had one natural light. I was drinking water when I got here. I wasn't going to drink tonight." I was like, "I'm
Ah,
fine."
you're like, it's time to go ahead and call this a wrap now. Let's go ahead and get you on home.
Yeah, he was ready to go. You don't want to embarrass yourself too much.
I got a buddy. I got one friend that I know when he's had enough because he gets emotional like that. And as soon as he says, like you said, "Hey man, I love you, bro," I'm like, okay, yeah, we're there. All right, we're there. Let's go ahead and get you some water in your system. Then I got another buddy who just you really can't take him out in public. He is one of those cats that has been like in Shawshank, he's been institutionalized to the house. So he's so he's so used
Did you say
to
like Shawshank?
yeah, like in Shawshank Redemption, how they say you're institutionalized. He's been institutionalized in his house his whole life. So when he comes out, he does not know how to act in public. So he'll go past his limit. And once I see his shirt, once I see the wife beater, he takes his shirt off and has the wife beater. I'm like, all right, yep. We got can I get the bill? Yeah, we got to
Yeah.
wrap this up. Once he takes the shirt off, I know what's happening. I know what's coming next. If you're there long enough for him to take his shoes off and just be in socks,
Damn, he took his okay, so he's taking everything off down to his socks and what? Does he leave his shorts on at least?
he'll have shorts, a wife beater, and socks, man. And I'm like, all right, we've been here too long, y'all. We gotta go. We gotta go. And everybody knows when it's time to go, you know. But I sit back and chill. Like I don't. I got people that drink to get drunk. I drink just to chill. You know, I'll be sitting there. We'll talk, have a couple drinks here and there, and I'm good. Once I feel like my teeth get numb, then I'm like, all right, it's time to go ahead and stop drinking now because now I've hit my limit. Once I hit my limit, I gotta fucking get my shit back together because somebody has to have the right frame of mind in case something happens. I've always been that person to be like, uh, you know what? I take on the responsibility of protecting everybody. I feel that it's my job when I'm out with my friends to be the protector of everybody. Like I need to make sure everybody is good in whatever situation we're going to be in. I need to make sure I'm in the right frame of mind in case something pops off. I need to pick somebody up and put them on my shoulder and get the fuck out. Or I got to shield y'all from something. I know when shit's coming. I pay attention. So y'all can get fucked up. Don't worry about me because I don't need to be fucked up. I'm just having a good time with y'all, you know? And I think that's I don't know. People said I was like the dad of the group even when I was younger. Yeah, I mean, like I always had the fatherly instinct, I guess, but it's also because I care for everybody that's around me. Like, if me and you were ever to hang out, I'm gonna make sure I'm good and make sure you safe at the same time. It goes with anybody that ever rolls with me. Like, even the random people that I could be talking to. If we're having a conversation and I'm with somebody, I'm just talking to somebody, and a situation goes down, I'm gonna make sure that person I was talking to is protected. I can't help that. That's just how I am. I guess I'm wired.
Do you have your phone on you right now?
Yeah.
Are you using it for Zoom?
No, 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 no. I'm using my laptop for Zoom.
I'm gonna try and send you this picture real quick.
Are you sending it on the gram?
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry for the audience listening. If your audience listening, if you just check back to me and Mike's other episodes, Mike's been a guest since like episode 90 something on my show. Actually 89, I think.
yeah, yeah, and it's cool, man. Because I was talking to somebody about you the other day, and I was like,
Hopefully good things.
"Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." Matter of fact, it was this morning at the Wawa because
That's where my name pops up at the Wawa. I love it.
and my homie that works there, he was like, "Yo, man, what you getting into today?" You know, da da da. I said, "Man, I got a homie from Ocean City, man. I'm gonna jump on his podcast, man." He was like, "What?" He was like, "You you jump on other people's shit too?" I was like, "Well, yeah, man." I was like, "Man, I said, man, this dude found me back in the day on Instagram, and we've been going back and forth, and we talk, you know, all the time through the gram. And then one day he got on his show, and then he, you know, I did another thing, then he got on ours, and then I did his again. Like, it's cool to meet people this way." And I'm talking, he's like, "Hey, this girl comes out the back, and she's like, 'Oh, that sounds cool. What do you talk about?' I'm like, 'It's just whatever comes up, you know, random shit, you know."
No
She was like,
pre-planning.
she said, do you give shout outs to Wawa?" I was like, "Look, Wawa and Waffle House, they are my."
Damn, dude, I was gonna say that my name only pops up at a Wawa or a Waffle House too. I'm so glad you fucking said that.
So wait a minute. I don't think y'all have Waffle Houses up there, do you?
You have to go like closer to PA, I think, to get near
For
anything like
to
that.
tell you get
Yeah.
to a Waffle House.
You could probably
Okay.
find one in Baltimore, but it just depends. They close down so much stuff. You go and check like your GPS to go there, and it'll give you directions to all the way to get there. And then you show up, and then it's like, oh, this closed down 3 years ago. I was like, Google, what the fuck? I drove 4 hours to come here and specifically go to a Waffle House. We have a
You
Golden
try to
Corral.
do like Harold and Kumar and White Castle. Like I told this lady this morning because she was like, "Waffle House, is there one around here?" I said, "Well, yeah, the closest one we have near where I live at is in Fredericksburg." And I said, "From Fredericksburg south, you'll run into Waffle Houses almost at every exit. But as soon as you drive outside of Fredericksburg going north, you don't see them no more. And I don't know how far north you got to go before you run into another one. Like I know I could hit them in West Virginia, I could hit them in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, but DC and Maryland, and Northern Virginia don't have a Waffle House. It's very sad because I feel bad for them. Because I'm like, just get you a Waffle House in some areas.
Well, they have a Cracker Barrel, but I refuse. I used to love Cracker Barrel, dude. I'll never go there again after learning about Stanley Meyer. I'm never going there.
Ah, yeah,
You ever
Crack,
hear about that guy, Stanley Meyer?
yeah. But Cracker Barrels, Waffle House has a certain experience that you can only get at a Waffle House, especially after like a drunk night and you go to a Cracker Barrel. I mean, not a God damn it. Go to a Waffle House on a drunk night at 2, 3 in the morning. You meet the most eclectic group of people. Like I did a paranormal hunt a couple months back, right? And me and my friend that went, I said, look, we're going down to it was in Mechanicsville. I said, when we come back, regardless of what time we come back, we are stopping at a Waffle House for fucking breakfast. And she was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. We pull up into the Waffle House, yo. We go in there, and this girl has like all these jailhouse face tattoos on her,
Ooh.
tattoos on her neck, all down her arm and shit. And I'm like, oh, okay, this what's up right here. And she goes, what? I said, man, this is gonna be some good food because look who our waitress is. She was like, all right, bet. And then I look back who's working on the flat top. It's two itty bitty. I mean, these were like take you remember the little grandma on Looney Tunes that had Tweety Bird?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And do you remember the little chicken that used to be with Foghorn Leghorn that always wanted a man?
Yeah.
This is what these two old ladies reminded me of. They were that short and they were built the same way as these two women on Looney Tunes, right? And they're working the night shift. I'm like, yo, we got the gel tattooed woman as our waitress, and we got two grannies back here on the flat top. They probably roommates. Oh, this food gonna slap right here. This food is gonna be hitting.
It's the girls from Two Broke Girls, that show, or just grown up.
Yeah, yeah. They're grown, they're old women, and they have cats. Like they don't have no men in their life. Is the cats are their lives. You know what I'm saying? That's it. So we're in there, and this other guy is like sitting there, and he's chilling, and they're talking about this individual named Jake. And I whoever Jake was at this Waffle House had to be some shit because everybody said fuck Jake that day. Because the guy was like, this girl walks in and she's all like upset. She's like, oh god damn it, I gotta start my shift and shit and blah 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 blah. And he was like, oh, here's whatever you left. And she was like, oh my God, that's what I was looking for. I couldn't find it. He was like, well, you left it here. I wanted to make sure you got it because you know how Jake is. And she's like, yeah, man, fuck Jake. So I'm like, oh damn, all right, it's like that. They're heavy. We're eating, and I'm listening to the conversation that's going on with the workers there. So this other lady comes in. She walks right to the coffee. She pours herself a cup of coffee. She looks at everybody and goes, look, I don't want to hear shit from any of you right now. I got up late. I hadn't had a shower, and this is my first cup of coffee. I'm going to smoke a cigarette, maybe two. And she walks out. I'm like, oh my goodness, this food is going to be fantastic. Like the more fucked up a Waffle House is, the better the food is going to be. And when I tell you that food came out and it was absolutely fucking perfect, like I love grits. I only eat grits at the Waffle House, you know, or if I make them. And these grits were like, I don't know, man. Like God touched these grits, yeah. You know what I mean? And my homegirl, like we were talking, but when the food came out, we're fucking it up. So as we're eating, more people are coming in talking about this dude, Jake. Like the lady comes in after she had her two cigarettes. She goes, it was a rough night last night, man. That fucking Jake. And everybody's like, yeah, man, fuck Jake. Fuck Jake. When he come in, I'm fucking Jake up. And I'm like, damn, Jake sound like Jake gonna have a bad fucking day. Whoever Jake is gonna have a rough one, right? We finish eating. The girl with the tattoo says, hey, look, um, I'm getting ready to go home. Um, such and such here is gonna clear the plates and stuff for you. I said, well, look, before you leave, let me give you your tip because I don't want anybody else to get it because you were so good at everything and blah blah blah. She's like, oh, thank you, I appreciate it, and all this other shit. So as we're getting ready to leave out, I look back at everybody. I'm like, hey y'all, fuck Jake. And they're like, hell yeah, fuck Jake. I was like, man, whoever this Jake is, he got to find another job, man. But the experience at Waffle Houses, you can't, I don't know, it's something about that old school, small little diner, side of the road type shit. And knowing that the people there don't give a fuck. Like I was telling a friend of mine when somebody tried to snipe Trump, I was like, if Trump had Waffle House employees, the night shift as his security, that shit ain't going down. You know what I'm saying? I was like, because every Waffle House video you've probably seen, you've seen these motherfuckers fight, and Waffle House employees can scrap, yo. That's like on the job application. How good are your hands? Are your hands updated? If somebody were to come in here and punch you in the mouth, what you gonna do? Hit them with some grits, smack them with the pan, slice them with a knife, or throw a chair at
You
them?
take some of that cooking oil and you just
See, perfect night shift employee answer right there.
hired on the spot, raised too.
Yeah,
Starting you out at 25.
you're the night shift manager. You're it. You know what I mean? Yeah, Maryland, DC needs a Waffle House. Y'all need something like that around
I
here.
don't think it would work out well because this is the thing. Waffle House has landed in a certain area, much like Taco Bell, where instead of using marketing for good publicity, they found a way to turn one of their qualities that everyone knows is a quality of that establishment. Instead of hiding the scandal, they use it as a promotional aspect. If you ever watch Taco Bell, whenever they release something new, like a quesarito Crunchwrap Supreme with extra cheese, they're like, we recommend you be near a toilet. Perfect marketing because everyone knows that you have some really messed up problems after Taco Bell, but you get it anyway. Waffle House is the same. They notice that there's a lot of fights and weird scenarios, and it's probably at a few isolated locations, but now it's become the more appeal to that restaurant. Much like the one restaurant people go to where they, what's it called, Dick's, where they just sit there and abuse the shit out of you.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The rude servers.
That's
Yeah, see, I don't think I could do it. One of them. If a fucking person threw straws at me, was like, "Here's your drink," and granted, yeah, it's part of the fucking thing. I don't want to go to a restaurant where the service is meant to be bad. You know what I mean? Like it's on purposely supposed to be that
that
way.
just means your tip's going to be bad.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, or if even if you see a tip, like you might say something to be, oh, fuck you. This bitch cut me deep with that remark. You know what I mean? Like, you trifling fucking hoe. I'll leave out of here and fuck your mama. Yeah.
You combine two together in that one.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But you're right about that. I didn't think about that part, but I don't know. I do love a Waffle House. It's just something about it. It might just be because of my nostalgia to it as a kid. When we would go down south anytime we went to King's Dominion, or when I would go to Richmond and party with the people down in Richmond and ODU area, or when I would go to Georgia, North Carolina, shit like that, I always stopped at a Waffle House and ate and just meet the most interesting people there all the time. It was always somebody that I met that threw me for a loop. Like I remember meeting these ugly and beauty's in the eye of the beholder. And obviously, I did not have eye for their beauty on the outside. These women were just two of the ugliest women I ever seen in my life.
Yeah, beauty can be in the eye of the beholder, but sometimes that beholder's fucking blind.
Yeah, but when they sung, they started singing, and their voices gave me goosebumps. Like I'm like, holy hell! They have. It was like what was it? America Got Talent joint with the lady from England, the ugly lady from England, and she sung.
Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah, yeah. It was almost like that. These women started singing, and I'm like, what the fuck? Wait a minute. These ugly women got some of the most beautiful voices and harmonies I've ever heard in my life. I'm like, I'll be goddamn. Damn, if it wasn't for this. But that voice, though, you could sing to me every goddamn morning. You could wake me up, and if you was singing like that, I'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna have me a great breakfast. You know what I'm saying? I just can't look at you. You know, you gotta do this, and like hand me my food through a slot where I don't see you. You know what I'm saying?
Typically, I'll sit at a diner if someone's smoking a cigarette and cooking. I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be something.
You know it's gonna be good because that motherfucker don't give a shit. Do they still do that in places?
Some diners do. If you go, like, usually I come across it when I'm going to a concert or something. If I'm leaving and want to stop at like a place to eat before we go like back to the hotel or something, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. There's like one dude frying up pancakes and he's got a cigarette in his mouth. And I told my buddy, we're going here. He's like, dude, the guy's smoking a cigarette and not wearing a hairnet. I was like, you're not going to give a shit when that thing comes over here, dude. I'm telling you.
Nope. It's gonna be the best shit you ever fucking ate.
I was like, that's why I'm telling. I was like, that's why I'm so supportive of mom and pop shops. But did you get the picture I sent you?
Yeah, yeah. You in the mirror, man, looking young and shit, man,
No, look at
all
the
dappered
shirt.
up. Oh shit. Who's that on the front of the shirt? Is that like your
Look,
GTA character?
look closer to it and look at my face. It's me.
Shut the fuck up, man. They gave you a tan.
They just added, yeah, AI.
AI gave you a tan, yo. That is fucking hilarious, bro. Or
The hair's right and everything.
you need to get yourself a tan to match the shirt though.
That's yeah, of course.
You know what? For somebody who's in Ocean City, you ain't got the sun kissed skin, man.
I used
You ain't
to,
all
but
leathered up.
I used to be out in the sun 24/7. I was brown, dude. But you got to remember, I was in a surveillance room for
Oh, that does kind of vampire your skin a
yeah.
little
And when you
bit.
work overnights, you sleep all day, and then next thing you know, you're back out at night. So
That's true. That's true. That's true. Yo, the hair look good though, bruh.
it's when I wear a hat. It just comes out like that.
Ah, okay, okay, okay. You don't do no fading or anything like that, like
No,
cut.
can I tell you about my haircut? You want to know my barbershop experience? Dude, this is really trash. This hurts my feelings.
Oh,
Um,
come on. What, that bad?
so I go to the haircut place and it's like a good 30 minutes away because I just love that they do fades so good. And I go in there and I go, I do not want to get the girl because the girl's kind of relatively new. And it's nothing like not being sexist here. She's just usually girls are the ones you want because they get the better haircuts.
But you know
Um,
your barber.
but I know
Your barber knows you.
Pete knows how to do the fade just like I like it. He fades it into the side and everything, so I don't have to worry about like, change anything up. And I go in there and you know how you count how many people are in front of you to see if who's gonna go and who's gonna go next. And I go, all right, I'm getting Pete. And then this guy just goes, it's the next person. The guy goes, I don't want a haircut. And he just walks out the door and I go, you fucked me, dude.
Oh,
I was like,
you got
no.
bumped out the rotation
And
wrong.
she then the girl goes, I'm ready. I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to say no. You know how rude that would be to be like, no, I'm good. I don't want you to cut my hair. So I sit down I just don't, I got anxiety over that. Um, and then I'm sitting in the chair and she goes, hey, she goes, so how's the gym? And I go, excuse me? And she goes, I see you every morning. I train with this person. And I go, oh my God, my friend's client. I go, oh, and I'm gonna have to tip you a lot of money too, or I'm gonna hear shit about this.
No, you don't, man. You put too much pressure on yourself,
And
bro.
then so I just got off an overnight shift. I'm tired. All I want to do is just after this haircut, go home and just relax. And she starts cutting my hair, and I'm looking at it myself in the mirror, and I just go, "It's not even." She goes, "Excuse me?" I said, "It's not even." And you could tell I fixed it, but this does not match this.
Yeah, the point's different.
I go, "It's not even." And she goes, "I think maybe you're just tired." And I go, "I'm telling you, I'm looking at myself. It's not even."
Yeah.
And she goes, I don't think you're right. Trust me, it looks fine. I was like, okay. And then I got up, and as I was walking out, the boss, the owner of the place, was looking at me, and he was like, and in his mind, he's probably like, yeah, it's not even.
Yeah.
I tipped
You
her
can tell by his
$35.
face.
I tipped her $35,
Hold on. So
and
you still tipped her money.
I had to. That's how fucked up it is. I drove home. I took a picture of it. It was really bad. I had to fix it a little bit. It's a lot better than it was. And I was like, now you really can't tell because my hair is kind of grown out. It's different. But I saw her the next day, and then apparently she got fired a week later. So I was like, you know what? I'm happy I gave her the 35. At least it helped her get on her way a little bit because apparently she was getting a lot of complaints on her. So it was rough.
So I mean, they kind of already knew she was already getting herself out the door. But hold on, let me ask you this: how much did that initial haircut cost you?
25.
And then on top of the 25, you gave her a $35 tip for God damn, bruh. Do you take meds for your anxiety?
No, the funny thing is my buddy tells me, he goes, dude, you got anxiety. I was like, I'm a man. I don't get anxiety. I really don't have anxiety at all. It's just over situations where like I always think about like how someone else is doing,
You
struggling
overthink the
wise.
situation.
Yeah, and plus I don't want to be like a dick. And if I know the person, I'm just gonna end up hearing shit about it later. So I'd rather tip them a lot more just to make sure that like, oh yeah, you're good, you know, and then like at
He
least
was
they
all right.
remember you.
I know I fucked his head up, but he did tip me.
Dude, it was so
I'm sorry.
trashed. I was so pissed. And the crazy part is she made me feel like I was crazy. She was like, "No, I think you're just tired." I'm sitting there going, "Oh my God, like I don't know because it looks like it doesn't match."
She could be right. I know I didn't get a lot of sleep. This shit don't look right. Yes, it is. Look at me. I know you're
I had to
tired.
get
No,
confirmation
you.
from a couple people. I had to go like real quick, "Does this look right?" They're like, "Nah, it's different on each side." I was like, "All right, I'm not crazy."
Yeah. God damn it, this bitch.
That's the only downside I realized when I was talking to a sleep scientist on my show. He was like, "Yeah, the issue with like for me, I get like maybe 2 to 3 hours of sleep a night." Um, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get more now. I probably like I got 5 hours last night. I didn't get home till 2 a.m. and then I had a coffee and then went to bed. And then I
So wait a
woke
minute,
up
you could
around
drink a
7.
coffee and go to bed off of a coffee.
ADHD, caffeine will bring you down. So like if I can have an energy drink, it would spark me up right now. But if you gave me a coffee before bed, it actually would start more towards the end when you're actually tired. It'll just start bringing you down more. Um, so it's best to avoid this. Like people try and do like I think the only time I was ever alert after energy drinks is when you did what was it? Jägermeister and Red Bull, Jaeger
Holy
bombs.
shit. Well, Jaeger
I
bombs.
did 8 of those. And
God damn.
dude, I was fucking I had tons of energy, tons of energy. I was ready to go, dude.
That man was wired up ready.
My my buddy's like, "Are you good?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm not even drunk." He's
I
like,
just burnt this all off. My
he's like,
metabolism
"That's
works this
scary."
way.
It's not even the metabolism. It was just the energy drinks were pumping out past whatever the alcohol was.
God dog
Usually,
it.
I'm like you. I like to go out and I like to have like one drink. Like whenever someone goes like, "Oh, you're going out and just getting messed up," it's like, no, I'm getting a frozen drink. If you're getting messed up, you do a shot. You do something that's going to hit you hard. I just want to have a good little buzz. Like what I started doing was before the concerts, I get those little 99s,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
chug 4 in the parking lot, and go in there and order one frozen drink, and then you just sit there
See,
and
that's
chill.
I used to get my little airplane joints. I have a couple of them, and then I go in and I get a Long Island because Long Island's gonna get you fucked up. Get a Long Island, get my buzz, and then to maintain it, I would after I drink a Long Island, if I knew I was gonna be there longer, I'd get another one. But if I knew it wasn't gonna be for so long, I get like a rum and coke. That would be my drink for the rest of the night. But I would sip those because the sugar that's in it. You end up getting a fucking headache and a bad hangover. And I'm like, as long as I sit back and sip on them, I'm good because I know that there's sugar in this shit that's gonna fuck my head up. You know what I mean?
Also, my buddy, and he had brought a bunch of girls with him, to like it was like 2 weeks ago to one of these concerts, and like I said, 4.99s in the parking lot. They're 50% alcohol per volume. So those are like what alcoholics use when they go to work in the morning at like some shitty construction job, and you
Put a
wonder
little
why your
something in
fucking
their
house is
coffee.
lopsided. You know what I mean?
Just
Um,
leaning a little to the left.
yeah, it's like there's a tilt in this thing. I could tell. I placed a domino on the floor and it just fell over. But I went there and what was with all these girls and they're like, "Oh, what do you want to drink?" I was like, "I'm good." I was like, "They're like $10, $12." I was like, "I'm not doing that." You know, it's like, "Oh, we're buying rounds for everybody." And some of the girls were teachers, so like, "Yeah, we're fine. We got this." And I was like, "I know teachers' budgets. You guys don't make that much." I go, "This is not even a point." I was like, "I'll just do one frozen drink and I'm just gonna chill." And everyone kept like a bunch of people recognized me from the gym and a bunch of people like I knew was all there. So I had like 60, 70 something people just walking over to me like, "What's up?" And then I get into like a 2 minute conversation. Then, weather pops up and I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here." Um, but my buddy mentioned me. He's like, "How the fuck do you know all these people?" And then like, a bunch of the girls come up to me and they start going, "Man, you got Riz or something." Like, you got all these girls coming up to you and talk to you. I was like, "No, it's just I'm friendly as hell when I start drinking a little bit."
Ah.
I get out of that awkward shy part and I'm more like how I am on here where I'm just kind of shooting and having fun with it. I'll start doing dance moves you ain't never seen.
There you go. There you go. See, women love that confidence. You're like, oh, this dude, all right.
Especially if I see someone like a grandmom dancing up front and everyone's just like, look at this woman just partying her ass off. And I just go up there and I'll start going, let's go. Like, just joking around, having fun. Like, I'll get my friends to break out of their little, because everyone usually stands there with a beer awkwardly. I'm like, we're out. Have fun. Seriously. Like, this is going to pass you by so quick.
My cousin told me that when I first started, when I was able to go to the bar, the first thing my cousin said, he said, "Look, cuz, do not be a wallflower." He was like, "You get your drink, you go out on the dance floor, and you just groove. You ain't gotta do a lot. You just go out there, just start dancing. Watch what happens." And I'm like, "Huh?" He goes, "Trust me when I tell you this. You don't want to be the guy on the wall. We're just standing there drinking, looking at everybody else have fun. You're out to go have a good time. Go have a good time." All right, cool. So that's what he told me. That's what I took with me. I go to the bar the first night, get me a drink. A song came on that I like, man, and I'm out that motherfucker. And I'm just rocking, just going back and forth, doing my little fucking thing with my drink in my own world, not giving a fuck. And sure as shit, as I'm rocking, fucking women start popping up around me, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. Then I got women dancing on me, and I'm like, this is even better. All right, hey, hey, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, and I'm looking at all the other guys that were in this motherfucker, and they're all standing on the wall just looking at mean mugging and trying to talk to girls at the bar or trying to talk to them, off on the wall. And these girls that are there with them, they're the bored, they're just sitting there looking all stupid and shit. And I'm like, they want to get up and move. So why not just groove with the girl? My cousin making sense. You groove with the girl. Girls coming out to have a good time. You can pull them, but most of the time they're just there to have fun. As long as you're there to have fun, don't make it awkward for them. They won't make it awkward for you. You're good. Because a girl will tell you and eventually give you the sign and be like, hey, what's up with you? Oh, I'm good. Like, what you trying to do? Like, you want to catch up later on? Maybe go out in two days or something like that. Some shit like that. Just split some game. But to be on the floor is where it's at. It's the art of not giving a fuck when you're on the floor.
Now,
You know,
do you think that changed after the pandemic? Obviously, the pandemic changed a lot of things when it comes to everyone always talks about political and all this type of stuff, but society has forever been changed. It's either for good or for bad. People staying inside their homes more or people wanting to go out and experience more. I'm just noticing people not caring as much anymore. Like there's so many instances, I guess, where you go out to a club and someone does something where you're like, that's embarrassing as hell. But then like the next day they're just walking around like it never happened. And you're like, do you even remember? And they're like, not really. And everyone just accepts that person was drunk and that's a drunk version of them. It does not affect how you think of them. And I'm just like, if it's that fragile, then why do you care when you're sober how you look to other people? Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? You're never going to see half of these people again.
exactly, because 100 years from now, nobody's gonna talk about, oh, remember that time that dude shit himself?
Well, I think a lot of people are going to remember that, but that happens when you're sober too. I don't trust anyone who hasn't done that at least once in
But
their life.
I think the pandemic did people, I think, realize the what's the word I'm searching for here? The
Fragility.
yes, yeah, of life in general. Like, you know what? This is short. No matter when you go, when you pass, it's always going to be, oh, life is too short. So you got to enjoy it. You got to have fun with it. And I think the pandemic sucked the fun out a lot of people. And people just like, let me have a good time. I don't give a fuck what you think about me. I'm going out here and I'm gonna do my thing. But there's also a certain other part of the don't give a fuck. You got the don't give a fuck, have a good time. And that other one is just literally, I don't give a fuck about shit you do, say whatever. I'm gonna be this fucking person regardless, with no uh empathy towards others' welfare. Like, I agree with going out and having a great time as long as you're not hurting nobody else. You can fuck your own self up all day long. Don't fuck nobody else shit up. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna go out and be miserable, you shouldn't go out. If you already like, I don't want to do this shit, now I'm gonna go out and deal with all these fucking people. Fuck all y'all having a good time. Okay, take your ass home. Let these
Yeah.
people enjoy their fucking time. You know, but that level of, it's I think it's a a freedom, a freedom kind of feeling like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm out here I know I got a homegirl. She anytime we're anywhere, if a song comes on, she feels like dancing, she gonna dance. That's who she's always been. And motherfuckers like, man, she's having a great time. Like, fuck, I want to do that. Then do it. Go ahead, dance. What's stopping you from doing a little two step? Nothing but whatever's up in here. You know what I mean?
That's a rational perspective, but then you get the other thing where like I'll be sitting at a bar and I'll just be like, like head bobbing to some live music or something, and then people are like, "What's wrong? Why aren't you dancing? Why aren't you doing this?" I'm like, "Cause fucking 9 p.m. and I'm not as drunk as you, maybe. Like I don't want to dance."
Yeah, I'm just feeling the vibe, man. I'm cooling right now. I'm
They're like,
doing
"You look like you're upset. Do you want a shot?" I was like, "Dude, that's not it. If I was upset, I would not be here."
it. See that? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I'm having a good time. I'm doing. Let me do my thing. Let me enjoy my space how I want to enjoy it. Whether it's head bobbing, two stepping, or just being quiet in the corner chilling. I think it's a yeah, it is a freedom kind of thing, man. When you start
But you would
really
think with
not
the number of anxiety medications people are on that they wouldn't be so damn upset about shit. Everyone would be like
But
more
see, that's the thing.
lackadaisical.
I don't think the I agree and don't agree with anxiety medicines. Like my girl, she's on anxiety medicine. She had a mental break 2 years ago, and her anxiety started going through the roof. Like it was almost to the point where she was like stroke level with things. You know what I mean? Yeah, it got bad. So they gave her the anxiety medicine and whatnot, and an event happened where she comes home, and this is like after she had been on it for a couple of months. She comes home and she's telling me what had happened, and she's like, I know I should be upset about this. I know I should be crying, going ballistic, or something, but she goes, I don't, it's not coming out. And I'm like, I think the medicine you're on is supposed to kind of curb that feeling that you would have normally in this situation. I don't know because I'm not on these meds. I've never taken them, so I don't know if that's part of it or how it works or any of that, and as time went on, she's had some side effects that I say is the medicine that she's on for. She's on medicine for anxiety, blood pressure, and diabetes. And I think and all this happened around after the mental breakdown. Like she got hit with the anxiety medicine. Then the anxiety medicine led to trying to get her blood pressure under control. Then the blood pressure and shit. They were like, let's check your sugar, and found out that she was diabetic, and they gave her shit for that. And I'm like, now she has joint problems like arthritic. It's real bad stuff. And psoriasis started happening, and I'm like, I've been paying attention to things. Every time she had a medication, there was a new symptom or something had happened or a symptom got worse. And I'm like, I think these may be side effects of medication you're taking. And she's like, nah, the medications are working. I said, the medications are doing the job to curb whatever ailment that you might have, but it's also causing other things to happen, I think. And she's like, no, I looked up the side effects, and this is one of the side effects. I'm like, it says not known side effects. You're looking at known side effects. This could be one of those side effects that maybe happen one out of however many people would ever test it. So let's kind of wean. So she weaned off of one of her, I think it was her one of her diabetic medicines, and she's been doing good without it. And the doctor said it's okay that you did it that way. There's another one that I'm not a fan of, but there's so many people on like that Ozempic stuff and the Mounjaro and all that. I'm not a fan of those, but I've known so many people that are on these shots that I've seen the weight just they're tiny now, and I'm like the rapid weight loss. I don't think that was good.
There's going to be a ramification to Ozempic. I work in obviously the health industry, but it's there's a big a lot of talk about that, and I've seen people take it and then immediately put the weight back on when they get off of it. They're expensive too if you do not have the money for it, but that's going to have some long-term effects to your health later on. I guarantee you, in a year from now, you're going to see some scandals starting to happen. There's something about that I just don't trust.
I don't either, but she was already losing weight because my girl, she wasn't a small girl. She was already losing weight because she changed up her diet when she found out she was diabetic. But they're like, we got to get this under control. Here's this shot. And as she's taking a shot, she's losing and it's going quick because it took away her appetite. And when she does take the shot, anything she eats that day of the shot or even after the shot, she ends up throwing it up or shitting it out. And I'm like, but I've heard that from so many different people, like on my routes. There's people that are on this shit, and I'm like, I've watched them just literally melt away, and I'm like, what symptoms do you got? Like, has this happened to you? And has this happened? They're like, yeah, I don't eat like I used to. And I'm cool with that. I'm like, yeah, but if you're not eating, you're not getting the nutrients you actually need for your body. You know, there is something to that, I believe. And I'm like, you heard about how Oprah had to give up her share of Weight Watchers because she stopped doing Weight Watchers and got on the Ozempic joint. And they were like, oh, Oprah got real sick and she was shitting and vomiting. And they're like, oh, she had some kind of virus. I'm like, that wasn't a virus. That's what that medicine does because I've seen it happen to so many people that are on it. But now people are taking it because they want to lose weight super quick without having to work out. But I'm like, it's doing something to your insides that I don't think your body agrees with. So your immune system's fighting it, which is why you're shitting all this stuff out or throwing things up or things are happening to your body that shouldn't be. But she's adamant on, after the wedding, this is what I plan on doing. I'm like, let's find some natural shit to wean off of this because I am not comfortable with this medication, even though the doctor's telling you, oh, this is what it's supposed to, this is how it's supposed to work. But I'm like, you wasn't a big giant eater to begin with. Your thing was drinking. Like, if I think if you cut back the drinking, I think things would be better. Let's try to change up the lifestyle and go with it from there. So
Well, society's never had a good understanding of nutrition or any type of health. I mean, we've had too many diet trends pop up that were just like everyone just goes, "Oh, I remember Atkins. Oh, I remember Weight Watchers. Oh, I remember this." I was like, you understand what the massive amount of information that is available for us, and we still don't understand that there's not a specific go-to for what's going to work for you, and we don't teach anything about food. We don't teach anything about healthy stuff now. People used to fear starvation. Now we do it for fun or we do it to lose weight. There's a weird disconnect. And now they just came out with this workout pill, which gives you all the benefits in a pill of working out without you actually working out. Now, specifically, it's not for weight loss things, it is specifically for cardiovascular disease and other things like that. I'm 100% fine for that. It actually can boost up your energy to want to work out. But the issue is that when you stop taking it, you feel even worse because you're now back to your normal level. And that when that new level becomes normal, you go, oh, this is great. And you have to keep taking that pill. Just hop off of it for a week. And you're going to be like, oh my God, I feel way worse. It's like, yeah, because you're back to how you were feeling before and you were used to how you felt before.
yeah. See, I try to stick to natural shit. Like my kids, when they come over and they've had sinus issues and they're all clogged up with mucus, the first things they do, Dad, you got any pineapple juice? Yeah, sure, come on. You clogged up? Yeah. All right. Get the pineapple juice, help break up the mucus, get that phlegm out. All right, cool. My son's like, Dad, I need a neti pot. All right, cool. Get the distilled water. Let's boil the pot up. Let's get that ready. Let's get you drained out. You know what I mean? Like I try to instill the natural shit the best I can. Now there are medications like because I got eczema and I have eczema and I had psoriasis and I had to take like a daily Zyrtec because it's triggered by my allergies, right? I found I had to go through different soaps and lotions to try to find out what worked with my skin because my skin is so sensitive. I get that from my mom. My mom has very, very sensitive skin to stuff. Like she has to wash her clothes in the baby wash detergent, Drift is an expensive washing detergent for clothes, but it's for babies because baby skins are so sensitive, But my mom has to wash her clothes in that. She can't use anything like Tide. I can't use Tide. She can't use Tide. Tide, whatever's in Tide fucks my skin all the way up, you know. But I can use Gain, and what's the Walmart brand, like Purex or something like that? I can use that, But I had to go through this whole experiment of my own body to figure out what worked, what don't work, and I think that's what people have to do with themselves. They kind of got to experiment on themselves to find out what works. Because granted, we are one species, but we are all not built the same.
People won't figure that out. We all know it, but they don't because people don't care. You sell a good advertisement. I've mentioned this before, and it's the funniest thing. If you can Google it in your free time, please do. It is a YouTube medication, or it's a medication that is an advertisement you can find on YouTube for schizophrenia. Okay. This person is sitting there like this, like all depressed, and they're at a coffee shop, and all her friends are around her laughing and having a good time. And then it says the name of the medication says for schizophrenia people. Has you ever felt like everyone's having fun without you and you just can't be in the now? And then they say the name of the thing and say, try this. And then next thing you know, she's sitting there smiling at a coffee shop and she's by herself. You know what schizophrenia is, right?
It's the fucking mental shit.
Yeah, but those people weren't there. They were in her fucking head.
Oh damn!
She
So
took the
she thought the
medication and
whole
then she was
time.
happy and there was nobody around her. It was, the people weren't there. They were a figment of her imagination. She was perceiving that she was with people and that they were all having fun and she couldn't enjoy life's moments. And it was no, there weren't anybody there. It's the same coffee shop, same people in the background. The people weren't there. And I was like, that's a real mental disorder, but it's like depression. If you see somebody spinning around in a field of wheat and happy after taking a medication, you're going to want to buy that medication. And everybody thinks all these things like green tea fat burner are great ways because you're subconsciously thinking about it. Oh, I have a little bit of fat. I need to lose a little bit of fat. And something says fat burner on it. You're like, I got to buy that.
Just smoke weed. I'll be glad when it's legal. I can smoke again.
Is
I
it
miss it.
not already? It's so normal now.
Well, yeah, it's normal now, but see, it's still
I hit
under
I
under
hit this thing at
federal
a
guidelines.
concert and someone hands me a vape pen and I look at it and I go, "No, it's vape. I don't want to smoke that." Like that's what is yours not weed? I was like, "Hell no, I don't smoke that." I was
Oh,
like,
you never
"I
fuck
will
with?
get you arrested." No, I'm kidding.
Oh, no, I'm just saying you ain't never fucked with weed
No,
before.
I used to be a big stoner in high school, but I'm actually the opposite now. I'm not against it. I just think that we need to have the conversation. I've had the conversations with experts on my show who like research, and now they're coming out with more about side effects to smoking marijuana. Not like everyone brings up laziness and all that, but I'm like, no, there's a type of it's called psychosis. If you've ever had like a freak out from weed and you're like, was it laced with something? It's a sensitivity thing that starts to happen, and with the higher grades of THC that are coming out, you're seeing more people experience these types of what I would call mental breaks, which is bringing up psychosis. And I had it every time I smoked weed, but I just thought it was like I had to get used to it, and I never got used to it. And it like I wouldn't say it permanently changed me, but it's definitely something where I bring up to the argument. It's mostly with people who have disorders already. So if you have bipolar, if you have I have ADHD. So it can do that. Basically, your mind won't shut off. You overthink things. You end up being, how do I breathe? That type of shit. It's that becomes the normal. It's not about just being at a cool level.
Okay, yeah, because see, I know when I would burn, I was a highly functioning pothead. Like
Yeah,
I
most
was
people
able
are.
to accomplish so much more shit when I could burn versus now. And the thing with me is it's more so I used to be able to like just a nightcap, like let me burn and go on to sleep and be chill. Now I don't have that, and I'm more of a dick sometimes, especially when I get tired. But I did find out that I can do shrooms. And I've been microdosing every so often. I'll microdose. And it gives me that that relaxed calm that I need to really focus and put things in order so I can accomplish them. You know what I mean? And I was like, well, all right, cool. I found out that I can do microdosing and that's not a problem. All right, so I ventured into the psilocybin world now a little bit here and there, and it's been interesting because you know people are like, oh, you gonna see the walls melt and shit like that. I'm like, no, I don't do that level of shroom to where I'm gonna be tripping.
Do you
Like,
see anything?
I did on 4th of July. I fucked myself up on 4th of July. I ate too many. And that was my dumbness because everything I was feeling too good. And I was like, I'm going to eat a shroom before the fireworks go so I can see what all this shit is. And nothing happened until my dumb ass went to bed. That's when shit got trippy because I needed to take a shower. Cut the shower on, get in the shower, and I turn and I look at the uh, shower caddy, and that motherfucker starts moving
Uh,
like this. And I'm like, oh, fuck, man. I know this shit's not moving for real. I know this shit is in my head, but my body feels like it's moving with everything. So I'm in the shower and I'm holding on to the wall like Spider-Man now. And I'm like, I'm pressed I pressed up against this bitch out, and the shower is still doing this. I'm like, God damn it, get your shit together, take a shower, and get out this fucking shower. I'm talking to myself, trying to hype myself up, like, just wash your ass. That's all you gotta do. It's not a hard thing to do. Just wash your ass. But everything is still moving. I'm like, I know this shit's not moving. This shit cannot move. You know you are stationary. Body, mind, we need to work together. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to have a conference call with myself. And I'm like, all right, maybe if I close my eyes, that's where it fucked up even more. I closed my eyes and it was like a kaleidoscope of so many different shades of black. I've never known to see this many shades of black in my life, kaleidoscope in my fucking eyes like this. I said, okay, closing my eyes is not going to work. I just need to really take a shower really, really fast. Just really, really fast. I'm really, really fast. Really, really fast. Come on, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. Cut the shower off. And now I'm thinking I have to get out this shower and not bust my ass because there's nobody in this house right now but me. So this is not going to work. So I open up the shower and I look down and I see my swim trunks and they're breathing. And I'm like, God damn it. Come on, man. All you have to do is step 1 foot out, 1 foot out. That's it. Just 1 foot at a time. I get 1 foot out, get the other foot out. All right, I'm out the shower. We're going to be good. Let's dry off. Let's get to bed. We got to get to bed. I get in the bed. I'm happy. I'm like, okay, I'm in the bed and I'm looking up at the window had this curtain rod with the big, big loops that go through that the rod goes through. I'm looking at them and they turn into like, remember the Ninja Turtle mask? You know how they got the white eyes? I'm like, fuck. Now I'm thinking I'm looking at the Ninja Turtles. I'm like, all right, let me turn over. This ain't gonna work. I'm looking at the closet. Everything stopped moving. I'm like, all right, cool. I gotta sleep this side. That's no big deal. I can do that. I go to close my eyes, and damned if that shit didn't kaleidoscope. It's like lightning strikes and zigzags and all this shit. I'm like, fuck, man, I gotta go to work in the morning. This is some bullshit. I just want to go to sleep right now. All right. Note to self: do not take this many shrooms because usually I can weigh them out, but I didn't have a scale with me to weigh them out. I had one earlier in the day and I ate it. No problem. Everything was chill. I'm in the pool, relaxing, cool. Uh,
chilling and relaxing and sipping all cool and shooting some b-ball outside.
out,
Sorry.
out of school, So
You
then,
lined it up with that.
so then later on the evening, I feel that I'm like, all right, I feel the relaxation leaving. I'm like, all right, let me, eat one more and ate one more, and we're out there shooting the shit and fucking playing horseshoes and whatnot. And I'm like, all right, cool. So then hours and hours go by, and I'm like, well, the fireworks are getting ready to go on. Let me do this one last one. And that last one was the one that got me. I was like, okay, note to self. There is a limit that I'm not trying to go, and that was the limit I didn't because I don't want to go anywhere past that limit I was at.
So what you just described, imagine that every time you smoke weed and it's like times three.
See, that's what I was thinking when you told me that. And I was like, huh, because I had a girl that I dated and she would get very paranoid when she would smoke. Like it would fuck her up to the point where And we be in her house, and I remember smoking a joint with her in the house. She's like, I usually don't do this because of blah blah. I'm like, all right, that's cool. I'm not forcing you to smoke this, but if you would like to, here it is. She took a couple hits. Cool, no problem. I shit you not, maybe 15 minutes in, she's like, oh my God, people are gonna come here and they're gonna and she fucked up my buzz that I had going in. And I was like, look, you just need to calm down. How about I just fix you something to eat? You sit here, eat, let this buzz go away, and then go to sleep. And then, when you wake up, we'll reconvene on whatever's happening. You know what I mean? So I was like, as long as I was there with her, talking to her, she was good. But I knew I could not leave her in her house feeling the way she was feeling. So I've seen it. I understand it. But back then, now versus back then, I didn't get it back then because back then we didn't have, it was still legal and shit like that. You didn't have the strands that are out now. Versus back then, it was like you come across con bud or some hydro or some shit like that, and you get this shit and it's stronger than what you're used to. And now, after even you said that, it all makes sense when I look back at certain things. So I get it, but I think at this point in my life, if I were to smoke again, it'd probably fuck me up maybe just as bad. I don't think I'd be as productive now because I'm so used to not having it now. This is like I think it's the third time I've stopped. The first time was for probation. The second time was when I got married the first time, and then this go around it's because of my job. But if they were to legalize it, I don't look at it as, man, when I was younger, I used to smoke every day. Now I'm older, it's like, you know what? Just like a nightcap. If I want to hit the bowl or hit a joint and go to sleep, I think I should be able to do that. You know? Yeah, I get it on the job. I understand that. I operate a big ass fucking vehicle that has hazardous waste and shit. I understand that. But if I'm home in my free time, I should be able to do whatever the fuck I want. I could get drunk. I can get drunk as shit as a skunk. Wake up with a hangover. Drive that truck. Nobody's gonna give a damn, which makes no sense to me. Like if I'm hungover, I shouldn't be driving a fucking truck. But you'll allow it. You know what I mean? You say, "Oh, you drank last night. Okay, it's not in your system now, but you're okay to drive." Just like if I smoke the joint tonight, go to sleep, get up, drive the truck, and wreck something. Oh, you're fired because you have THC in your system. But I can have a hangover, hit something, and I'm perfectly fucking fine because I passed all the tests. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's just hypocrites. It's a hypocritical mindset. I think I is with it. You know what I mean?
Just the way we view it, because alcohol has been, it was illegal at one point, but then it was, I don't know, it just takes time for things to roll over. Marijuana is just a lot of people aren't interested in it and they can't really, I think now they're finding a way to make money off of it, which is why it's becoming more legal. But
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That the money is what speaks for it. Like I think Maryland. I think they said it was on the news about how Maryland made like 1 point some odd billion in revenue from.
it's just not federally legal, so you can't use like card, you have to use cash. And it's just awkward because nobody ever carries cash anymore. It's like, like when you go to a bar, you have to put your, I put my card down. I'm like, damn, I just might as well bring cash, but I don't ever go and try and pull cash out of my.
Because carrying cash still ain't safe. You know what I mean? Because you start flashing wads around some of these ignorant individuals that are out here. That to them has to come up. Whereas a card is more difficult because I got to have your passcode and some more shit. Like it's a headache. Where I can give you my card and it's easier for me to here's my card, put it on my tab. I'll come back and I'll close out the card, sign it, whatever, and boom, we're done. Transaction's over. I don't have to keep forking out money and you giving me change, and then I got to count this change up and perhaps drop a dollar or two somewhere and be asked out. Like I know I had 20 on me. What did I do with that 20? Ah, fuck it. I don't know what I did with that money. Like I had a guy I worked with the other day. He lost $100. Hey man, you seen $100 laying around? Nah, bruh. To be honest with you, I'm like, if you lost it in here, and if one of us wasn't in here to see it, and like the cleaning lady or somebody comes in here, or the water guy comes in here, or anybody else that does not work with this company comes up in here and seen $100, it's probably gone. You know what I mean? Like, why would you carry $100 on you like that? Just I haven't even seen $100 bill in I don't know how long. You know what I mean?
I work retail, so I come across either hundreds or fifties, and you have to check them because apparently there's a lot of fakes going on. Some woman at Walmart gave me $20 back, and it was a fake 20. And I was like, "The machine's not taking my money." She go, "Oh, it's probably fake." I was like, "You just saw me cash in my coins, and you gave me this 20." I was like, "I'm not trying to scam you, but can I get a different 20?" I was like, I don't have my wallet on me. I have to go back out to my car and grab it. I just cashed my coins, and I was going to get a couple things." And she was like, "Sorry, I can't." And I was like, "So I have a fake 20 now that just sits in my house." I was like, "Great." So I got scammed out of 20 bucks basically out of Walmart.
Yeah, leave it to Walmart, right?
I
And
get it
Wally
because you
World.
don't know, like, oh, this person's could be scamming us. I'm like, look, you got me on camera right here. Like, I'm not messing with anybody. I saved up all those quarters. Come on now.
Like I still got, I still got a jug of change that, remember the what is it, the water jug? The water jugs you have, we used to have them and we used to fill them up with change when I was little. My dad and mom had one. We fill it up. We sit there. I remember having to wrap the coins up, count them out, wrap them up, take it to a bank, and get the money. And I was like, well, shit, that'd be cool to have. I have one. I've had it for years, and that fucker has not even got but like that much in a 5 gallon.
You never get change back. You're always using card on
That's the thing.
things.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I got this jug here that's just collecting dust now. Like, there's a coin collector I follow on Instagram, and they're talking about how you should check your coins. And I'm like, you know what? I wonder if I might have one of those coins. Granted, I probably don't, but I could check these out. But then I'm like, yeah, that's a lot of work with that shit to go through all these coins and sift through the coins and try to find a certain fucking day and stamp or anything on this fucker. You know what I mean? But I'm like, it could be worth it. And then I'm thinking, I'm like, wait a minute, I got kids. I could put them on the task. Hey, baby, you take all the pennies, you take all the dimes, I'll take the quarters, and you take the nickels. We'll see what we got. You know what I mean? I could do some shit like that, but that's gonna take like a whole weekend of work. Ain't no law against that right there. We'll make it a family fun thing.
I don't want to take up too much of your time. Like, we've already been talking for 2 hours here, brother man. Yeah, it went by pretty quick.
Son of a bitch. Yeah, we
Yeah,
have, bro.
that
You got a
flew
concert
by.
to go
Yeah.
to.
Do you want to promote your links, man? I always appreciate being able to talk with you again. Hopefully, we won't have to wait so
Oh,
long next time.
yeah, yeah, sure. So if anybody wants to reach out to me, you can contact me on Instagram or Twitter, and even now TikTok, but I'm not on TikTok a lot, at JAY_Rod_Statham. And if you want to tune into some more foolishness of just controlled ignorance, you can check me out. I'm a co-host on the Mason and Friends Show podcast, ladies and gentlemen, the biggest podcast in Warrenton, Virginia. Until somebody says otherwise, it's not suitable for work. But yo, check it out.
I'll make sure to link those in the description, Mike. It's always a pleasure. And thank you, everybody, for listening to this episode of Out of the Blanket. Stay tuned for our next episode.